Hey, good day, good morning for me here from New Zealand. It's at the moment 10 minutes past 9 in the AM. But as you can see here from the screen that I'm sharing with you, on my stock trading bot, it is currently 11 minutes past 3 in the US, where we're focusing on stock market relative time. So, what we have here is an automated trading bot using the latest ChatGPT 5.1 model from OpenAI. You'll see that I've connected this up with my IBKR trading platform. So in here, if we go to our API settings, there's a whole bunch of settings and stuff here set up so that I can connect my paper account. This is a paper account while I'm testing, but so that I can connect that up with my desktop app here. And essentially what this is it's a trading bot using AI. But we extract some data, so I've got some shortlisted stock tickers here in this list, and they're pretty much saved in a file, a spreadsheet, that I can adjust and change and add to. And how I derive these is I use my stock scanners here to look at various stocks, candidates that's going to fit my strategy. And what that strategy is I'm looking at a 5-minute interval for a particular stock that has got a reasonably high ATR, such as this one. So currently we're looking here at SMCI. So at the moment, you'll see we've got some indicators here. So obviously we've got our candle chart up there. We've got the volume data, the MACD, RSI, ATR, stochastic, Bollinger Bands, and the news, which currently is not working so great. I'm still tinkering on this. But the most important one here is the stochastic, really. I use that to initiate trades, so buying or selling or going long or short. And then in here, we're also picking up candle patterns. So you'll see if I hover over where this dot is going to tell me it's picked up some, just a single one this time. But usually, depending on the stock, there'll be multiple candle patterns that it automatically detects. And then it'll list them here in my AI Trader environment. And what this does is I've got some options here that I will select to send information to the AI. And it'll make a trade decision based on the prompt that the system generates. And that system generated prompt here is telling it a bunch of stuff, what stock we're looking at, what I wanted to do to make a decision on buy, sell, or stay based on the data below. It's got some candle data here, open, high, low, close, and volume data. It's got a list, in this case there's only one of the candle patterns, and it's got a history of my previous trades that it's been executed. You'll see I started with a cash value of 10,000 this morning, around about an hour ago, and it's already made $66.40, which is not bad. And then you'll see here we've got a bunch of other information. So we feed through things like rules, technical analysis on those indicators, just a short list of it, a summary really, and then the rules of engagement for creating new trades and closing existing trades. So that's essentially what it does. We've got some additional options here, and you'll see the countdown timer here is on 92%, 93%. When it reaches 100, it means it's 5 minutes, and then it's going to rerun this. But essentially, the indicators or the not the indicators, the tools that we can switch on and off here is whether or not to do market orders. If that's unchecked, it'll do a limit order and calculate that limit order. We can include the news, which I'm still working on. We can tell it to be a bit more conservative, and we can do a web search. And you can see now it's initiated. So it's actually going to pull data here. It's going to generate that, and you can see it's now generating a response. So it's saying it's going to sell. It's going to send it through to IBKR. The order has been filled. We can see that there it is. That just initiated right now. That's the one. So it's got a order reference AI7, and you'll see if we go back here, that's number 7. So that's the one that it just did. And this still says pending because I need to hook it up back to the IBKR system, and I do that in 60 seconds after the initial trade. So you'll see in a minute less than a minute now. It's gonna do a quick check of balance check, and it will then either cancel orders that haven't been filled so we don't accidentally delay an order. Sometimes when you go into a short, it'll not necessarily fill by the system, or something can happen. It might not meet the price or whatever, and a lot can happen. Prices can go up or down, and you can be left hanging with some risk if the order takes too long. But you can see in this case it was filled, and now when it does that quick checksum, it returns back that it's filled, and now we've got an open short trade running, which means by the next time that the cycle runs again, and you can see it at the bottom where where the percentage value is climbing 30%. Once that reaches 100 again, it's going to repeat this whole process. And it got a history here of the trades that we've got open. It understands what's going on. It's saying our last trade was sell at 34.68. We're using market orders. Again, if I uncheck that, it'll do a limit order, and we'll get the AI then to set up a limit order price, so with the stop loss and the target price. And you can see here now it's picked up a few more candles, and we can see the reasoning here. So it's saying it's opening a new short, prices near the recent intraday high after a bounce, MACD is turning up but the stochastics is high, overbought, which fits our short entry condition, no existing positions, blah 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 blah. In here I've got additional notes. So I actually said only go long when stochastics is below 30. If it's a new trade, sell and take profit whenever, doesn't matter. And then try only to open short trades if stochastics is above 70 and take profit whenever conditions are met. And I said only deviate from these rules if you are extremely confident in success. I also said close open positions before starting a new position. I don't want it to run multiple trades concurrently. I will build that in later. At some point, I'd like to manage multiple stock symbols at the same time. For now, it is just a singular system the way it's currently set up. But we can see here there is those little stars indicate where we bought and sold. And then we can see here we've got the candle indicators there, and obviously the candle patterns that it's picking up. So that's what it's doing, and it's already made a bit of money, so that is exciting. It's quite difficult setting this up and getting it to run properly. There were quite a few bugs that I had to work through, especially with the IBKR API. It's not always perfect, and you want this to be perfect. You want to have a clear and open connection between your trading bot and the trading platform. IBKR probably provides the most comprehensive API that I've come across for trading platforms, and I'm also limited to what is available here in New Zealand that we can actually use. Some of the other tools are not available in our regions. This one is. So, but it's still complicated, making sure that an order has been executed and that everything follows through, and keeping track of that took a bit of time to set up properly, but it seems to be running pretty stable now. You can see here we are getting closer to the next trade decision. Remember, we went short on this one. That's a new short position. We can see it there, and if we see what's happening here, that price is actually gone up a little bit. So we got in at 34.84, and now we're at 34.87. So most likely what the trading bot is going to say is that it's going to hang on to that a little bit until the stochastic starts to drop down a little bit in that oversold line, or at least when we reach the target profit. I said the minimum profit should be $10, and my stop loss is 10% of my cash balance. Remember, my original cash balance was 10,000, and you can see there it's going now. It was 10,000 and it's made 64 so far. So let's see. It says buy. There is an open short position from trade. Blah blah.
Order partially filled.
And there we can see the order is filled. Order is filled. It's saying that it can make a profit from that. Actually, that candle has gone down since we bought it. So we bought up there. We sold down here. So we can actually see what have we made here. So if we look at the profit, it's not much. It's only $7 this time, but it's still in the green, which is great. And that was for a short position. So I'm quite happy about that. That's working pretty well. We can see the system. I'm giving it, like I said, a 60-second grace period before it does the check, because the orders don't always get filled immediately, right? So, but we should see that update any second now when it does the sync with IBKR data. And then, again, in the next 5 minutes, the next trade will start. It would actually be nice if, while it closes one open short trade, like it's did now, there it goes filled, that it already starts with a new one and say, let's do a double action. Let's close the open trade and let's initiate a new long while we're at it, if the conditions are met. But anyway, that's all work for the future. For now, this is doing pretty well, and you can see we've been running this starting at 14:30. It is now 3:21, so it's less than an hour, right? It's less than an hour that it's run, and it's made $73. If it keeps doing that, and I run outside of regular trading hours, so I start this at around 7 a.m. US Eastern Time, and I let it run right up until 7 p.m. So that's 12 hours. If we can make, more or less $50 an hour for, at least the majority of the trading day, so let's say 10 hours, then we're talking about good money, right? That's not bad. So let's see. I mean, this is still early day testing. We need to have consistent success and consistent data, at least over a long period of time, before I can actually call it. But looking pretty good. All right. Cheers.